Hello and welcome to Talking While Cupping, the show where we break the golden rules of coffee tasting and walk you through exactly what we think of when we taste coffees. I'm Christian Gullbrandsson and I will be your host today. And today we're going to talk about varietals, and specifically the Geisha varietal, or Gesha. And if these two words are new for you, don't worry about it. We're going to walk you through every part of it. Now, there are many factors that can influence the way the coffee tastes before it even gets roasted. So for example, where it's been grown, that's what we call the origin. The climate and environment, that's what we call the terroir. When you pick the cherries and get to the dried beans, that is what we call the process. But today, let's focus on varietals. So what is a varietal? Well, it's basically a fancy word for type. So if you are or have some friends that are wine enthusiasts, you might have heard about varietals. That is to describe the type of grape, for example, when you do wine. So Merlot and Pinot Noir are two different varietals. When it comes to apples, for example, you have different varietals as well, like Gala, Macintosh, Granny Smith. But when it comes to coffee, it could be a little bit more tricky to identify those, tasting those when it comes to varietals. We're here to guide you through some tips how to identify one of specialty coffee's most notorious varietals, Geisha. If you heard about Geishas before, you probably heard that they are pretty rare, expensive, and a surefire way to win coffee competitions. And that might be true. But today we're going to focus on how to find those distinct tasting profiles that you can find in Geishas and what makes them so special. We have two different coffees on the table, both of them from the same farm in Costa Rica, owned by Carlos Montero. We know that Carlos produces some super clean and high quality coffees. I met Carlos for the first time in 2015 when I visited him in Costa Rica. He has his farm La Pastora in Tarazu. Most of the varieties that he grows is Catuai, but he also grows some Yellow Bourbon, Typica, and of course Geishas. While producing Geisha can produce amazing coffees, but it's not always that easy to grow them. The Geisha needs quite a high altitude, and it also needs a lot of shade. And the best way is you can have the shade from the natural forest. The Geisha also produces less cherries per tree than other varieties. So let's say for a Caturra, it can produce 3 times more cherries than the Geisha does. The Geisha also need much more land because the trees are growing so big and they need more space around the trees. That means that the cost of production gets much higher than growing other varieties. The root system is also weaker, especially in the beginning when you grow Geisha. The first 3 or 4 years can be really difficult to get them growing, and a really dry and harsh summer can put out all the plants. The flip side on this is when the conditions are right and good, you can produce some amazing coffees. And luckily for us, this is a great example of a unique Geisha. It can be difficult to tell varietals apart, but when it comes to Geisha, I think they have a very particular aroma and flavor profile that is so much easier to identify. Let's get to brewing. Here we go. Today we have a washed Geisha and a honey Catuai, and I'm gonna guide you through how to find the difference between them in the cup. So let's take a look at the honey Catuai first. This is this cup. So this coffee is grown on the top of the farm. And for me, that's the best part of the farm. It's the most beautiful place and where you can grow the best coffees, in my opinion. So this is a white honey, which means that they don't leave that much mucilage on it. So it gets very clean and very transparent. When it comes to Costa Rica coffees, when we buy them, we are looking for chocolatey and full-bodied coffees with all those kind of stone fruits flavors to it as well. So the first thing when you taste it is that you notice the sweetness. You get a lot of plum and apricot notes, and you have a really creamy mouthfeel as well. So the biggest thing here is the sweetness for me, and the aftertaste of chocolatey and heavy fruit notes. So comparing this to the Geisha, in this case you get more floral notes, and that is really what it gives it away. You get a lot of jasmine and coffee flower notes, so you should probably think of it like a vanilla perfume or a scented tea with all those kind of floral, intense notes into it. Yes, it's definitely more acidic, but at the same time very elegant. You get all this citrus notes to it and all those floral notes as well. Part of it might be that it is a washed Geisha and you have a honey Catuai, but in our experience, I think it's more about the variety. The Catuai is sweet and heavy, and the Geisha is more light and elegant and acidic. So in the Geisha, you get a really creamy, but at the same time light body. You got all those tropical fruit notes of papaya and mango. Sometimes you can get some orange notes into it as well, but In this case, I don't think you can find that really. So I really hope this can help you now pick out the difference between the Geisha and the cutaway. So that's the secret behind tasting the Geisha. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. We've been making more of these videos, so let us know what you want us to cover in the comments below here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon again.